Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Male Soap Opera Moment, and we are here to make our predictions for WWE Crown Jewel, going on in mere hours, gentlemen. So let's make our picks.
Yes, the Booch is here for Crown Jewel. And of course, I plan on winning back my prediction championship and proving once and for all that I am the one true prediction champion. And with Crown Jewel taking place in a land down under, I can't say for certain I'm going to be doing any live tweeting during that time because with how my week has been going, I don't know if I'm going to have the energy to wake up, let alone stay up at 8 o'clock in the morning to watch Crown Jewel. But hopefully I can. Either way, I will still be watching it, but I'm still here to give my predictions and let you know who the Booch believes is walking out victorious at Crown Jewel.
First match to make selections for is Cody Rhodes. Of course, he's SmackDown's undisputed WWE champion, taking on Seth Rollins, who is Raw's World Heavyweight Champion, in a singles match for a meaningless WWE Crown Jewel Championship. Because the actual championship isn't a championship, it's more of a decorum thing. You know, we're here, so let's make this relevant. I think Seth Rollins wins. This is a moral victory for him because if a belt was truly on the line, let's say the match was for both championships to consolidate them, I would definitely take Cody Rhodes. But because it's not, and because this is a gimmick pay-per-view, I will take Seth freaking Rollins. What about you guys?
Hey everybody, it's Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins. This is probably going to be our main event, more than likely. It's for the Crown Jewel Championship. And I'm just going to say it, I think Seth Rollins has got this one in the bag. I think this is the time he needs to win this. Cody can eat this loss. It's not a big deal. But it 100%, Seth Rollins needs it to continue looking good as the heel champion.
Obviously, Cody and Seth have a history. Cody has an undefeated streak against Seth Rollins, and it is because of that undefeated streak that I know for a fact Seth Rollins is walking out the victor. With the vision on the push that it has, he can't afford to lose to Cody Rhodes again, especially with Paul Heyman saying, I'm going to have to reevaluate why I picked you over Roman Reigns if you lose. So Seth Rollins cannot lose this match. There's a lot of matches that Seth can lose in the future. This is not one of them. Seth needs this to cement his spot as the leader of the division, as the World Heavyweight Champion, and to get this faction to grow and be stronger. So when the day comes for Seth Rollins to drop the World Heavyweight title, it will mean more because that person will have overcome a dominant faction that for once is not the Bloodline. So because of that, I am going with Seth Rollins to win the Crown Jewel ring, and Cody can live to get over another day.
On to match number 2, Stephanie Vacker, Raw's Women's World Champion, taking on Tiffany Stratton. Of course, the same one representing Raw, that's Stephanie. Tiffany Stratton representing SmackDown in a singles match for the Women's Crown Jewel Meaningless Championship. You know, this is kind of a toss-up here. I don't know. Throw it up in the air, see where it lands. Stephanie Vacker. I'm taking her. What about you guys?
This is a really good one to call. Tiffany Stratton is undefeated in 2025 right now. So I think that since we are currently in the process of building up Stephanie Vaquer, we have to make her win this match. She can be the one to beat Tiffany Stratton. It is okay for Tiffany to lose one. Like I said, she's already undefeated. It's not a big deal. She takes one L. She's not losing the title. It's not a big deal. So, yeah, Stephanie Vaquer, I'm all in.
Stephanie Baker and Tiffany Stratton, the women's crown jewel match. This right here is probably the hardest match for me to call because I have no idea what direction it's going to go. Obviously, Stephanie Baker is the new champion, but Tiffany Stratton also has developed a reputation, and I'm not quite sure who really needs this win. I mean, Stephanie can use it to continue to cement her push, but I feel like Tiffany could use it to benefit herself for when it comes time for her to drop the title, because Tiffany has been champion for quite a while. So I see her dropping the title at some point in the near future. I don't see Stephanie losing the women's world title anytime soon, and the Crown Jewel Championship is important, but it's not that important. Like, if Stephanie doesn't win this crown jewel, it's not going to bury her the way it would bury Seth if he didn't win. Because it's not really about the crown jewel championship with Seth. It's more about the fact that he's never beaten Cody. In this case, the women's crown championship doesn't elevate or de-elevate anyone. So I'm going to go out on a limb because rolling the dice is the only way to win or get a victory or even get in the running. So I'm going to go with Tiffany Stratton to win the women's crown jewel championship.
All right. Interesting so far. We're going to have to see if there is a new prediction champion here in One's World. On to the next. John Cena taking on AJ Styles. Of course, John Cena's retirement tour. Not too many matches left. This ought to be the match of the night. If these guys really give us their all, this should be, technically speaking, for just from a wrestling fan perspective, this should be one for the ages. I'm going to take John Cena, and only because he lost really bad the last time we talked against Brock Lesnar. He needs a redemption match, and this is the one to do it. John Cena over Styles. What about you guys?
We've got John Cena. We got AJ Styles, the match that the fans wanted. John Cena advocated for, and now we've got it. I love AJ, but let's be real here. He's not winning this match. Cena just took an L, and I don't see him losing 2 matches in a row during his retirement run. So AJ's going to lose it. He might see him beat up John Cena just a little bit, but John Cena's going to get the win. I think there's no question in anybody's mind about that.
And now it's the match we've all been waiting for. John Cena versus AJ Styles. This match is must-see. I am excited for this match. I truly am. And the reason I'm excited is because John Cena and AJ Styles are guaranteed to make magic in the ring. They have never had a bad match against each other. In fact, in 2016, they stole the show at SummerSlam that year. They were the only good match on the card. Every match before them sucked. Every match after them sucked. And it was a great moment. Now, as far as who's going to win, that's the tough call. So on the one hand, John Cena's on the retirement tour and is trying to rack up some wins here and there before he inevitably rides off into the sunset, which will be in about 2 months. He's only got a handful of appearances left, and then he's out the door. AJ Styles, we know, is going to wrestle for at least another year, and then he's going to hang it up. So it looks like he's on his way out as well. Both these guys are on the way out the door. Now, again, I don't know how to bet against this because last time I bet against John Cena, it didn't work out too good for me. But then again, the last time I betted for John Cena, it didn't work out too well for me. So the way I see it, I'm going to base my decision on this. The last time that I can recall that they fought one-on-one was at the Royal Rumble when John Cena won the 16th title and tied with Ric Flair. That was their last one-on-one match, and Cena won. So because of that, I think they're going to give Styles the win here, since he still has another year, and Styles can build some other people up and put some other people over, get a good win-loss record going before he hangs it up. Obviously, he's not going to be doing a retirement tour like Cena. I don't think we're ever going to see something like this happen again. But Styles is eventually on his way out the door, but he's still staying a little bit longer than Cena. So I think, based on that, Cena could take a loss. However, he did just get beaten, victimized, conquered, and embarrassed by Brock Lesnar. So he might need the win in that regard. So this is another toss-up. But again, I want my title back, and I've learned that to get the title, sometimes you have to gamble, because usually I've learned anytime I think something logical, I've learned that Triple H does the opposite because he's out of his fucking mind. So because I'm convinced that Triple H is a terrible booker, he's not the worst booker because Tony Khan and AEW still exist, but Triple H is definitely a terrible booker, at least right now, currently. I'm going to go with the phenomenal AJ Styles.
All right. The next match, a tag team match, as Rhea Ripley and Io Sky team up to take on the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane. I mean, just on its face. Not talking wrestling ability, not talking who should win, who's better, who's not. Just from a mere fan / analyst perspective and balancing the two here, I'm going to have to take Ripley and Sky in this one. What about you guys?
This is an interesting one. Oh, I feel like if there is a match that could go either way, this is it. We have Asuka, who just turned heel, and with Kairi Sane, who is still kind of on the fence. She did attack Io Sky, but she's doing it under duress. I think we're going to see Asuka win this match. And I say that because I think Asuka needs to get the pin. Just to really lock in the fact that this is a massive heel turn for Asuka. And we need to, and otherwise, I just don't see the point here. The only questions I have is whether or not Rhea or Io will turn heel as well. We'll see, I guess.
Rhea Ripley and Io Sky versus the Kabuki Warriors. For me, this is a bathroom break. I don't know why this is here. Yeah, I know they turned heel or whatever. I guess for me, to figure this out, the question is Kairi Sane really on the same page with Asuka, or is she just being pressured to go along? Because that can play a factor. If Kairi Sane is all in on this heel turn, the Kabuki Warriors have a shot to win. If she's not all in, then the Kabuki Warriors could lose because Kairi Sane could say, fuck this, I'm going to be on my own. Y'all handle your own shit and leave completely. And that can build a feud between Asuka and Kairi Sane. But then again, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky have unfinished business of their own. Keep in mind, Rhea Ripley has yet to beat Io Sky. So they have a feud within themselves that doesn't need a title. So there could be something where there's a miscommunication. Rhea Ripley hits Io Sky by accident. Io Sky hits Rhea Ripley by accident. Something happens. They lose. There's a fight. It becomes personal. And now you have something to build towards. Because I believe the next show is going to be Saturday night's main event. So you could build the two of them to Saturday night's main event. Because I don't see them fighting at Survivor Series, because knowing these two, they're going to be in the women's War Games match, just so Io Sky could put another fucking trash can on her head and fucking jump off the damn thing. Because that's all she's going to be good for in that fucking thing. If Io Sky's in the women's War Games match, it's to dive off of shit. Nothing else. And that's not even me hating Io Sky. That's me literally stating a fact that happens every year. She's there to dive off of shit. And for everybody to gather around like they're taking a picture because fuck psychology. So, I'm going to go with the Kabuki Warriors to win this match. Because Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, they're going to fall apart.
And last but not least, what some are calling the prospective match of the night, this Australian street fight between Roman Reigns and Big Bronson Reed. Will he get his shoes back completely? That's the question I want to know. And I think he does. I think Roman Reigns wins this match. Look, he's got a recent turn. He's back to being a face. He needs a good old-fashioned dub to solidify that turn. And I think he's going to get it on Saturday. What about you guys?
I know the record doesn't look good. I know the smart money's probably on Roman Reigns. But I feel like Bronson Reed can't take another loss to Roman. This is the moment. Bronson needs to get the win. It's a street fight, which means we're going to have some shenanigans. I feel like this is the moment. So Bronson Reed is going to win this one, in my opinion. Hopefully that's not the one that makes me lose the prediction title. All right, that's it, y'all. Let me in.
The Australian street fight. And of course, it's got to be an Australian street fight because we're in Australia and these two cannot have a normal match. Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed. This can only end one way. Just like the other match, Seth and Cody, this can only end one way. Bronson Reed has to win. There is no logical reason on this planet for Roman Reigns to win this match. Because we all know, as soon as this match is over, he's going home. Now with Survivor Series coming up, and with the Monday Night Raw and Madison Square Garden and the Boston Garden, maybe Roman shows up. Maybe. But after this match, we're not going to see him till at least November. He's going to be home for quite a while. And then after Survivor Series, I don't think we're seeing him again till the Rumble. So, Roman does not need this win. At all. Bronson Reed needs this win to be taken seriously. Again, we need to build the vision as dominant. And it does not matter how many beatdowns they give. It does not matter how many promos they cut. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much Paul Heyman strokes their egos. At the end of the day, if you can't get the W in the match, you're worthless. That's the only way to be taken seriously. Because that's the only way to back up what you say and what you do. And here's the thing. Bronson Reed doesn't even have to win clean. He can cheat. As long as he walks out the winner, it doesn't matter. It builds him up. Because again, he's a heel. Whether he beats Roman legitimately, whether Braun Breaker interferes, it doesn't matter. Bronson Reed does not have to win clean to look strong. He just has to win. Because heels can win by any means necessary. Only baby faces are required to win clean. That's a fact. A babyface has to win clean. A babyface cannot cheat. The only time it's acceptable for a babyface to cheat is if you're in a match that's very personal and you're giving someone a receipt. Like someone keeps kicking you in the balls constantly and you lose because of it. So one day you get another match and then you give a receipt by kicking that guy in the balls. You're not seen as being a heel. You're seen as giving the guy revenge. You're getting revenge. That's a different scenario. That's the only time a babyface is allowed to cheat, is in a match that personal. So Bronson Reed does not have to win clean, but he has to win. And I'm going with Bronson Reed in the hopes that Triple H is going to use his fucking brain.
And those are our predictions for Crown Jewel going on across the sea, many hours away in Australia, where everything can kill you. On behalf of Damascus Dez and Vincent Kennedy Bucci, this is the Wen saying, have a nice day.
All right, that's it, y'all.
Let me in.